Hey, this is Marcos with Future Studio University. In this video, I will show you an approach on how to use an asynchronous function within the synchronous map in Node.js. Map in Node.js is a synchronous operation. Let's jump right into the code and start from there. So I've prepared a little sample project, which is just a basic npm project with a package.json and an index.js file containing of an async function fetch repo information, and it actually does nothing. It just logs something on the console. The fetch repo infos is the call to start this operation. And yeah, well, just a side note, using async await in Node.js requires you to at least run Node 8. So if you want to just go with plain promises, it's fine as well. You can do any asynchronous operations in Node, but you need to at least support promises. Let's start this function, and let me just open the terminal. Yep, I want to focus the terminal and Node index.js. And you can see nothing to do yet. All right, let me just put it a bit down. The fetch repo infos function has an array of repository URLs, and you want to grab from GitHub's API the context data of these URLs. So what is the name of the repository behind this URL? And both URLs in this repos array are from our FS open source GitHub account. You can check it out, and it's also linked in the description below. So from here we want to fetch context data, and well, it would be nice to have a map function which enhances the given objects in this array with additional data fetched from the GitHub API. And from that we need to run an asynchronous operation because we don't want to block the actual operation in Node.js just by fetching data from the API. All right. So to fetch data from an API, let's install Axios. And over here, let's remove both of these and just start, well, let's start with an array with the updated repos is repos.map. So we have a repository, and here we want to fetch additional information. So let's initialize Axios over here. No, this one. All right, and in here we want to fetch the data as an Axios call with options to the repo URL. The method is a GET request, and we need to specify some headers for calling GitHub's API. And just head over to Chrome because I don't know them out of the box, and let's check what the header is. So let's GitHub API. Let's search for that. Go over here. And the current version, we need to set the accept header. Let me increase the zoom level. So we need to add a header for, it's called accept, and a value providing application and GitHub's v3 JSON. All right, back to this one. Let's make a string out of this. Well, the spaces came from Predia because I used Predia to auto-format code in Visual Studio. So it's actually this value that we need to provide. And because Axios does an asynchronous call, we need to either await it or use a promise. And to use await, we need to specify it in an async function. All right, this gives us the repository data, and we are within the map function using an asynchronous operation. So ultimately, we want to return an object given of the URL, which is the repository URL, the name of the repo data.name, and let's go with the description as well. Repo data.description. And over here you can see that we are in, well, no, it's here. Over here you can see we are in an asynchronous map function, which means it will automatically return a promise. Returning just this JavaScript object results in a promise. So, which will make the updated repositories an array of promises, because we are iterating through the repos array using the map function, and it's an asynchronous operation. Returning a value from here results in an array of promises. So we can just log the promises to the console and see what happens. Node index. And you can see it's an array of pending promises, which means we have finished the map operations. Within map, we're doing an asynchronous operation, returning a promise, which is in pending state and didn't resolve yet. So it will resolve at a later point, but at this point, we are just finished with our fetch repos function. So what we need to do is to fetch the results like this. We need to await all promises within the new or within the array of repos.map. So this array, which was logged to the console down here, is an array of pending promises, and you want to await all promises to resolve and only then use the result values. All right, so let's console log the results and see what we get there. All right, that's what we're interested. So you will get an array with all the results in your previous array, but extended with additional properties like name or the description. So in our case, the repo data is still empty. So let me check, what did I miss? It's a repo URL. Well, so what we got here is a response of Axios, which means we need to access response.data to, oh, sorry, this one should be the repo. And both of these should point to the response data and then go from there with a name and description. All right, let's run it again. And there you go. You can see we get the array and the individual objects for both repositories. The FutureFlix Starter Kit is the URL, the name is the FutureFlix Starter Kit, and the description is fetched from the API as well. And the same with the Android tutorials for Glide. All right, that's what you need to do. Let's close the terminal over here and just shortly recap how to run an asynchronous operation within map. By default, map is a synchronous operation, and you can adjust the items in an array by applying the callback function. You get access to the individual items. In our case, it's a repository. And over here, you can just extend the repository with a property, whatever, and return the value. So if we would just return a new object with the updated URL, or would extend that object with the URL and the name, it would be fine. To run an asynchronous operation within map, benefit from promises. So make use of promises and return a promise from your map callback, and from there use the additional Promise.all function and wait for every promise to resolve to ultimately get access to the results. And the results will be an array of each item that has a resolved promise with the actual data available. So from here you can do further processing, just apply your functionality on the results set, and yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to watch more videos on Node.js, Subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Tell me in the comments below if you enjoyed a special thing or if you want to watch a special video I should record. Just tell me in the comments below. And yeah, subscribe to the channel, enjoy your day, enjoy coding, and make it rock.